Welcome back to the Legal Vixen podcast. I have a special guest today. He's a former client of mine, Ernest Walton. Hi, Ernest.
Howdy, how you doing, Miss Kenny?
Good. Can you move down a little bit, or we didn't see your whole? There you go. Now I can see you. Perfect.
How you doing?
Good. I wanted to have you on because there's a program in federal court here that you're familiar with called the CASA Program.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to let our audience know that CASA stands for Conviction and Sentence Alternatives. It's a highly selective federal diversion program available only in the Central District of California. It focuses on rehabilitation, accountability, addressing underlying issues rather than traditional like prosecution and incarceration. You were probably one of the last clients that I was male clients that I was able to successfully fight for to get into this
Um,
program because it's an amazing program, but it's really hard to get into. So I wanted to basically go through that whole process with you. First, I wanted to ask you, what did you think when I first told you about the CASA program?
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. My prayers have been answered. Thank you, God. No, for real. I just rejoiced. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm not sure if I believe. I don't know if we fought it for like 2 years, Karen. How long did that go? Did it go on for? Were we
It
going through everything? Almost
it
2 years?
it was a lot because when we first applied, they said no, and we weren't
Yeah,
we weren't going
yeah.
to take no for an answer for you because I
Right.
knew you'd be like one of their star students.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we kept fighting and fighting, and finally they accepted you.
Right. Yeah.
So the application process, do you remember what that was, what that entailed?
You had to write a letter on why I should be accepted, and then I believe I did an interview
Mm-hmm.
with the CASA team,
Yeah.
and then I remember you calling me, telling me, or email me, telling me got accepted, which was probably one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, and then I had to turn you over to the other, like the public defender's office represents everybody for in CASA, so I didn't get to actually see you go through the program. That's the only
Mhm.
bummer is we don't see our clients progress through the program. We just find out when they graduate. So I was a little bummed about that, but I was just glad that you were given that opportunity.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
having gone through that program, what surprised you the most about it?
How parent they are. They. Well, I tell you what. The first, I forgot what her name was. Black lady. I thought she was really tough at first. I can't think what her name is, but they care for your well-being and your future so much. Like they just want to see you do good. I think they have an understanding of the situation that you got yourself in and what you're capable of accomplishing in the future. So they want to make sure that you're on the right path so you can become great in your life.
Oh, that's good. I know the CASA team. Are they at every court appearance with the CASA people? With the
What do you mean by that?
is the whole team of I think there's the judge, there's
Mm,
probation officer, there's U.S.
right.
attorney,
Yeah.
there's a public defender, federal public defender.
Mm,
I don't know how many people go to the hearings because we're not allowed. We're not part of it.
okay. Right. Yeah. There's about, I want to say maybe 6 to 8 people that are there. They even have somebody like a social service person there,
Oh,
like in case you need help with like assist with a living or anything like that. If you need to get any sort of like help in the community and stuff like that. So they have a good staff there to make sure that you're covered in all areas to progress in your life.
oh, that's perfect. So when you get in and you first go to the CASA court, what happens? Do you remember what happens that first day since you have no idea what to expect?
Absolutely. You go there, and there's already people that are in there, and you have to like introduce yourself. And actually, what happens is they give you um, a guy who you meet with that somebody every Saturday, and you do like homework for that day,
Oh,
and then like on a Wednesday you would go, and then what you do is you read what you did for your homework to the judges and the probation officers, and then they also have you like write something on how you are becoming a better person, like what you're doing as far as your job and things like that.
okay. So
So
you
yeah,
do you take
it's you first
classes?
start with yeah, you have every Saturday you have they give you a booklet, and that booklet has an assignment, and they ask you stuff about your childhood,
Hmm.
like your goals, like writing stuff down and writing a letter to your old self and writing a letter
Hmm.
to your new self, where you want to be at. So you meet with that person like every Saturday for like an hour, and then like that Wednesday you go to the courts and present it to the judge and you tell him how you're doing and things like that.
Do you have to go every Wednesday or is it just once a month?
That's a great question. I believe it's once a month. Yeah, the classes are every Saturday, and it's once a month you go to the court.
Okay. And are the classes, since court's closed on Saturdays, where do you go for that?
Well, COVID
Oh, that's
was
right.
during that time,
Hmm.
so it was everything was Zoom.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I know. They actually that was a really good thing. Everything was Zoom. Yeah.
Did you have to do any like counseling or treatment or community service hours?
Actually, you know what's crazy? I never thought that I would need therapy. They actually tell you to do therapy, and I had a really good therapist, who was excellent. And I always thought therapy was like laying on the couch telling some lady like your bad dreams or whatever. But but since it was COVID, she was over the phone. It was Zoom, and man, she really helped me out a lot. And then they had what else did they have? It was something else they did advise. Oh, the community service. So you definitely had to do some community service. So I was always doing like food drives, which once again, I had no idea how impactful that would be on my life. The fulfillment of passing out food to people who are less fortunate. I never ever thought about like I felt so good just giving the food and helping the organizations there. It was very impactful in my life. I loved every minute of that. So but I'm not sure how many hours you had to do, but you definitely had to do like community service. But the community service that I did, I didn't feel like community service. It felt like
Mm.
I was doing like walking in my purpose.
Oh wow. Where was yours at? Did you work at a food bank?
I went the church. I went to a few churches, and man, I forgot what the Rick Warren's church. I forgot what the
Saddleback.
name of it is.
Saddleback. I
Saddleback.
used to go there.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yep. It was there. It was like every Saturday, and it was amazing.
Mm.
Seriously, like the people there, just to be able to see the smile on the people's faces when you give them their food is it's impactful.
Wow. And did you do that every week or was there so many hours you had to do?
Yeah, you had to do so many hours. I forget how many hours you had to do, but they weren't pressuring you to do it every week, but you had to get it done before you had to complete your hours before you completed CASA.
Was there a set number of hours that were required?
Yeah, forgot how many you had to do though. But honestly, I did. I was just lost in the moment. I forgot how many hours I had to do.
Aw. You probably feel good after you go and give back.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and even the people that were working there, they appreciate it. That stuff can be heavy, like putting
Mm.
something in somebody's trunk and things like that. People were getting like one time I remember the muffler was so hot it blew. I was like, man, this is a workout. Damn, it's a hazard. Somebody's muffler smoke blew out and like almost burned my leg. I
Oh
was like, this is
no.
crazy, but it was a beautiful experience. Even when at the end when they have to sign your papers, they never even ask like, what is this for? You know what I
Mm.
mean? So like you didn't have to tell them what you were doing community service. They just signed it. They signed the paper and Mr. Chow, that's his name. Officer Chow was the guy who was my teacher every Saturday. He was really, really amazing.
Oh wow.
He's the one you had to like tap in with what on Saturdays you had classes with, and he was there at the graduation, but he was never there. Usually on like Wednesdays when we had the actual class meeting during the week. But he was a really good, I want to say, like probation officer. Excellent guy.
Wow, that's awesome. So I do want to ask you because it's so selective and the attorneys that are representing the people trying to get in, they don't really tell us like the criteria that's used to get accepted.
Mhm.
Based on my experience, it just seems that there's more women in the program than men. Did you see that as being the case, or did you think it was even?
No, it was actually more guys when I was
Really?
there. I think um it was forgot what the girl one of the ladies I believe you represented, and then there was one other girl. That was it. The rest were males.
Oh, interesting. This whole time I
You
thought it
know?
was mostly women. And what year?
Yeah,
What
no,
year
I
was that? Was 2020 or?
yes, believe so. 2020 or 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
2020 or 2021, something like that.
And I think the judge in charge, because the judges change. Back when you
Mhm.
were doing it, I think it was Judge Staten.
Yes, the tall guy. He was like a Marine guy. Yeah, yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
Oh, Judge Staten was a
yeah.
female, so you had somebody
Oh,
else.
oh, okay. So she was there, and then I want to say maybe like my last 3 weeks, there was a
Slaughter?
guy that
Judge
took a
Slaughter?
yes, because you remind me of Sergeant Slaughter. He was like a yes, yes, yes. That's his name. Yes, Judge Staten was there, and then I'm not sure what happened, and then the guy he reminded me of like
The
a
Rock.
Sergeant Slaughter,
He
like
reminds me of The
huh?
Rock. Doesn't he look like The Rock?
Yes, 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 yeah. Slaughter. Yep, he was there. He was the last guy that my mom always talks about how when I had to go up there and he was gave me like this big old high five. Yeah, nice guy,
Yeah,
really nice
he's
guy.
always happy and smiley and talkative.
Yes, yes. And Judge Early was at my graduation too. You know, I had to thank him for everything. I
Oh, he
love Judge
was?
Early. Yes, he was there too. Yep, yep. He came for my graduation. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow. That is
Yep.
crazy.
Right, right. To see have him show up.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
He's still a
yeah.
magistrate.
Is he really?
Yeah, yeah,
Judge Early, I'll never forget him. Really
yeah.
good guy.
That's perfect. So when you go to, okay, so you're doing Saturday classes, you have homework, you have counseling, you're doing your community service. With all of that that's required, how many hours a week do you think CASA takes up?
Well, depending on what the homework assignment is, for that you have that be completed on Saturday, and then I want to say maybe 10 to 15 hours. Nothing crazy.
Oh,
But you definitely want to make sure that you are doing your assignments, and I know a lot of people like they were those assignments like had meaning behind them.
hmm,
So like if you take your time, it really um catapulted you to the next level in your life. So I used to take my time. I love the assignment. As much as I don't like writing,
hmm.
I would definitely take my time doing the assignments. So I would probably to make sure I was doing it the correct way, I would take like a Friday, maybe spend like 2 hours doing it. And then if you had community service or something like that, so maybe like 10 hours, if so.
Okay. Was it like kind of like journaling in a way?
It, yes, it was like journaling, and getting your thoughts out, about like your past and where you're at in your life. And then they had you like write out like your goals or where you wanted to be, in the next like 20 years and things like that. Oh, can you still see me? One
Nope,
second.
you disappeared.
There it goes.
There you go.
But it was, yeah, it was definitely very, very helpful in order to get you to where you're trying to go. As much as I don't like homework, I always look forward to, and they're non-judgmental. If you had something that wasn't as meaningful to you, they didn't really judge you. They just wanted you to get it done. But if you took it serious, it definitely would help you out.
What would you say was the hardest requirement to do?
I don't like to write. I don't. It hurts my hand when I write. So writing, I just had to, like I said, take my time. So that was probably the hardest. Was just making sure I had all of that done and I was doing it correctly.
And what do you think out of all the requirements, what do you think changed you as a person the most?
That part was the writing down, because they had you write your goals down. As much as I knew, there's power from the mind to the hand to the paper.
Hmm.
We don't practice it, but now I actually one second. now every day, as much as I don't like writing, I'm journaling.
Oh,
So I
look
want
at
to say that's
you.
very helpful. And that's actually like helped me out a whole bunch of waking up, doing like my affirmations and things like that in the morning time.
Oh, so you still kind of keep that going in your life.
Abs- Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
That's what I need to start doing is journaling.
Yeah, listen, it really hurts when I write with my hands. My friend says I hold the pen wrong, but it does help out a lot when you can put down, how you want to feel. Like you have to talk to yourself before you talk to anybody else.
Kind of like positive affirmations.
Absolutely. I feel a huge difference when I do it and when I don't do it. It's a huge difference. It's a game changer of starting your day. It's either you're telling yourself or somebody else is telling you.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, and I wanted to go back to this. What role does the judge play in CASA, the CASA judge? What role do they play? Are they kind of just listening? Do they take an active part? What
Mhm.
do they do?
Yeah, they're just listening. They're just listening. Um, yeah, they're just listening, making sure that what you're doing. It's like a board. It's like you go in front of a board and you're showing them that you're transforming. The judge basically usually starts it, and then um, the probation people start telling you what to do and things like that. But the judge basically just listens, making sure that you're doing the right thing.
Do you have to read what you're writing or your assignments? Do you read it in front of everyone's? Oh,
Yes.
so you're learning public speaking skills.
Yes, 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 yes. Every week. You know what's crazy though? I'm glad that I did my homework they give you a pamphlet, but when I had to go to in front of the board at the court, I wrote in my notes and I have so much I went back and was looking at like my notes from when I was in CASA. And I used some of that for my Instagram, like the stuff that I was going through, especially talking about like turbulence in life. And I was looking back, I was like, man, I wrote this when I was in CASA, and it was like really good. But they listen to what you're saying at all times. They really want to make sure that you are changing your life. Like what you write, they listen to everything you say.
Do they comment on anything after you're done reading it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if they feel that you are not doing what you're supposed to do, or you don't have enough of like what you written down, they'll say something. Or they'll start asking questions like, how do you plan to better this? Or how are you planning to change this?
If somebody's about to enter CASA right now and they're just apprehensive, do you have any advice you'd give them?
They just cannot be blatant honest. You'd be a fool not to do it, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I don't know why anybody would not want to do it. These people genuinely understand where you're coming from and want you to have a bright future ahead.
Do people ever get kicked out of CASA? Did you ever see that? Uh oh.
So you don't see them get kicked out,
Oh.
but based upon when they get up and talk, like for instance, there was this guy there who you could just tell he was like apathetic, like about being there, and his pants were like sagging. You could see his Gucci belt. He had like earrings on and like jewelry. And the guy said something. They were like, "Well, where are you working at?" And there's like, "You don't have a job, but you just had a newborn baby."
And you're
They
wearing
were
a
like, "How are
Gucci
you doing
belt?
this?" Yeah, right, exactly. So I didn't see him get kicked out, but from what I hear is they actually um, sent him to the jail, and then there was another guy. There was another guy who was like forgetting his book and wasn't doing the assignments, and I heard that they actually sent him to jail as well too. But they don't do it right away. They give
Yeah.
you a warning, like they'll tell you like, "Hey, you need to do this, you need to do that." And it's like, you get like two warnings. And then if you come back the third one, they're like, hey, we tried to help. Obviously, you're not listening. And there's meaning behind it. They're like, well, instead of sending you to the prison, why don't we come here and try to reform you and show you that there's another way? And some people, take advantage of it and do the things the right way. And some people, I guess, they rather sit in the prison, which is quite foolish to me.
Oh, yeah, especially if you can get your case dismissed if you complete CASA.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely, absolutely. That's why I said is I couldn't believe like you look at the people and you could tell who's going to change and who's not going to change. And it's exactly what they're looking for. They're just looking to see whose attitude is changing, who's turning their life around.
It's such a coveted spot. I have a guy that I currently represent that I've been fighting to get in because he's just changed so much since the conduct happened
Mhm.
and just changed his life around, and I'm still fighting. It's just frustrating. Those are such coveted spots, and so many
Mhm.
people want to actually take advantage of take
Mhm.
advantage of that opportunity. And to hear about people that get in and they're just like, whatever. It's like, ugh,
Horrible.
frustrating.
I mean, I was like the guy that was sagging his pants. I was just was like, You must not really care, for real, for real." And like I said, it wasn't like that. That wasn't the first time. Like several times they have told him, because it's just evident that it's a judge. They know. Okay, well, if you're wearing jewelry, you don't have no job, and you have a baby, how you getting money? You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you want to go in there representing yourself and show them that you are, that you're changing.
Yeah, don't be showing up with your Gucci on.
No, no, not that. I couldn't believe that. I was like, with these big old diamond earrings, like he was a rap star. I was like, bro, like,
Did you make any friends when you were there?
I did. I can't think of what the girl's name is. Oh my goodness, the lady you represent her, Miss. Forgot her name now. But there was some other people there too.
Oh, did you guys put the
That I
connection that I represented both of you?
yes, can't think of her name. Miss, she's in my phone. I forgot her name. Allie. I can't think of her last name. Allie.
Allie. It was a long time
Can't think of
ago.
what she was in the program with me, and she graduated I think like a month ahead of me.
Oh,
And
so do you go to the if
then-
you're there, you see when people graduate
so everybody has a different graduation date depending on
when
when
you
you
entered?
are accepted. Yeah, everybody has a different graduation date. It's pretty dope.
What do they do for your graduation?
So they go there, they like each CASA person like talks about, what they have observed from you. And then the judge, you go up there and you talk, and then they have like a little party, like they have like cookies and stuff like that, and you say goodbye
Oh,
to everybody. It's actually a really good moment. My parents actually and my sisters spoke at my graduation,
I wish I could
and it
have
was like
went. I didn't know.
really
I didn't know when
beautiful.
it was happening.
They didn't tell
They
you?
don't.
That's
They don't
crazy.
tell us anything. They don't tell us
Really?
anything. That's what I don't like about the program because you fight
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
get people in, and they don't even tell us when the
Right.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Judge Early showed up for mine. I was shocked.
Yeah.
But graduation, the ceremony, everything, you look forward to that day and you're like, man, this day is finally here.
Hmm.
And honestly, once you graduate, you're like, wow, I'm actually gonna miss this. You don't know what to expect when you go in there, but when you leave, like these people genuinely care about your well-being. You're like, wow, it's over with, and you've learned a lot about yourself along the way.
How long were you in the program? Was it a year?
I believe so,
It's like
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
12
it didn't
months.
seem like it. It went by so fast.
Wow. And it was all online because of COVID?
Yes, it was all online because of COVID, and then you were going to the court once a month into the actual court.
Oh, that's awesome. How many people would you say were in there on average?
We had no more than like 10. There was no more than like 10 people there.
That's it? Wow.
Yeah, during it was, and then when I was there, I think only there was maybe like two or three people that came in that were new. I don't remember seeing a bunch of people there.
Wow.
There was not a bunch of people there.
You're so
Yeah.
lucky. Okay. So I think you told me this after you graduated when I talked to you about it. Did they have you at one point doing stretches because your background is a physical fitness personal trainer?
Uh, Judge am I saying it right? Judge Stanton?
Staten, yeah.
Stanton. So when I was talking about personal training, she literally was like, "Well, why don't you give us an exercise to start the?" And I was like, "Really? Like, let alone I got to come up here and like talk, do the public service." But I tell you this, Karen, it was preparation for what I do now. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like to be in front of people, and I'm glad they gave me a chance to do that because how I started CASA is literally how I start my classes now. Isn't that
Really? So
crazy?
what do you do?
Yes. It's just stretching. It's just a quick yoga stretch and things like that. And then I did have them doing a little bit of boxing. It was a little bit of boxing, but it was like maybe like a 30-second. Because Judge Stanton, I believe she works out a lot.
Oh, she
I believe
does.
she works out a lot. Yes. Yep.
So she would be doing the exercises too? Oh
Absolutely.
my
Yep.
gosh.
Absolutely. Everybody had to do it. Everybody. I mean, they probably started that when I was like maybe like my third or fourth month in. So I had to do it every time I went there. So it was like a ritual, a traditional thing to start CASA. They were like, okay, Mr. Walton, I had to get up. Now, mind you, I still didn't do my speaking yet. Mr. Walton, can you please start us with our stretches? I was like, wow. Okay. But like I said, it was preparation for what I do now.
I bet they missed you when you graduated.
I know. It was that was a monumental day in my life. I'll never forget that day for real. It was just so like I cried that day. I
Aw, I'm
literally
so
cried that
bummed they
day.
didn't tell
Yeah.
me.
Yes, I'm really shocked that they didn't
I
tell
would
you
have
that.
went.
Really shocked.
Like,
It was
success
beautiful.
story. So my other client graduated before you, so she wasn't there for your
Mm.
graduation.
Okay. I can't think of what Allie's last name is now. I can't think of what her last name is. She showed up to the graduation too. She graduated, I think, a month before me.
Oh wow.
It'll come.
How long,
Yep.
when you did go to court once a month for these Wednesdays, how long did that
Mm.
last?
Well, depending if it was a graduation day, like if somebody was
Hmm.
graduating that day, it might be a little bit longer because everybody still had to go through, like each person had to go through and do their update,
Hmm.
and then the person had their graduation. But it wasn't long, maybe like an hour and a half to two. It all depends on, the people that were speaking, or if they were doing good, if CASA had to have any, suggestions on how they need to better their life or what they need to be doing. No longer than 2 hours, if so. And the only reason I really remember that is because outside you got to pay for the parking.
Yeah.
So if you didn't pay for the parking, you were getting a ticket. So I always did like 2 hours and never went over 2 hours.
Oh, so you had to physically be there. They weren't doing that virtually.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Oh,
you
that's
had to be there.
perfect.
No, you had to be there in person.
That's perfect. Okay, so
Yeah.
share with us now what you're doing.
So currently, I am still doing personal training. I teach boxing classes, which is spin and boxing.
Oh,
It's pretty dope. I don't teach the spin part because I don't like the bike, but I do have a friend who teaches the spin part, and I teach the boxing. And every 3 minutes you switch. So we've been doing that for about the past like 4 or 5 months now, and we've had great turnouts. And I also do virtual training as well too. So I have about 3 or 4 clients that are in California that just like this, I train over the phone.
oh, that's perfect. So it's boxing? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep. Spin and boxing. That's correct.
So,
Don't tell nobody because I want to be able to like create like this huge worldwide thing. So we can't. Well, I don't care if you put it out, but yeah, it's boxing, spin and boxing.
that's cool.
It's a great class. Everybody absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves
I
it.
don't think I could do the spin part. My knees are so bad.
Same here. I don't like that bike. I do not. That bike, that seat, and I, we do not have a great relationship. So you will not catch me on that bike at all. But the boxing part, I absolutely love.
Like, just is it kickboxing or?
Yeah, like kickboxing. Women like to
Mm,
kick and hit things, so it
yeah.
comes easy for them.
I did kickboxing before my daughter was born, and then I screwed up. We were using like the full body bags,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
screwed up my foot, like kicking it the
Absolutely.
wrong way.
That's one of the things that we are looking at as far furthering this cardio classes, like what type of bags, because that's so important. You don't want somebody kicking a bag that has, that's hard. You can mess up their foot. So these bags actually, they're soft and they move.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, these bags
Yeah,
were like you couldn't move them. They were.
absolutely. Yeah, Muay Thai bags. Somebody can really get. I'm big on safety. I want to make sure that nobody gets hurt in my classes at all. So safety first before anything.
Oh, that's perfect. Do you have your own Instagram? I don't know if you want to put that out there for people to follow you, but
Oh yeah, it's definitely inspirational, motivational. My Ace Fitness. You can find me there.
My Ace, so it's MYACE
ACE
Fitness.
Fitness. FITNESS. Yep.
Perfect. And then I just know I love seeing your videos because you always start out with a big smile on your face and say,
Yeah.
and say,
Yes. It's a great day to have a great day. When I first did that, I just was, it's become like when I don't do it, people always message me, hey, where you at? Like I still don't like never realize how much impact I have on starting people's day. Like when I don't do it, if I'm missing for a few weeks, people are like, can you please come back and do it? And I'm like, wow, I didn't know it was that big. So, but it's like anything. You have to every day get better at doing it, and just don't care, just put it out there. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I'll be putting a video out next week. Sorry, tomorrow I'll be putting the video out.
Oh, perfect. Did you start the It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day? Did you say that at CASA or is that something that developed?
No, it's just something I developed. No, I didn't. That wasn't formed just yet.
That's awesome. So, how long have you
You
been?
do
Go ahead.
you do know I did go speak at. I don't know if that's coming down the line or not.
No,
Question.
what did you spoke at CASA?
They asked me to come speak at. They didn't tell you
They
this
don't
part.
tell us
They asked me,
anything. I'm not
what?
kidding.
They they asked me to come speak at their 10-year anniversary.
Oh, they don't even invite the lawyers. Like,
That was up in LA
oh
at
wow.
and they had a few other people too, and they just isn't the person who invented Casa, the guy was there, and he talks about how it came about. Very, very impactful on like the story on how he created. Like you got to actually see the originator, the person who uh came up with Casa. It was amazing.
I think, well, I know in California, the Central District is the only one that has CASA. I don't know if any other districts outside of California have it, but I think I think it was a pilot program. It stuck around. I don't know how many years it's been in existence, but there's so many people in other states and districts that don't even get this opportunity. Like you can't transfer your case in to do it. So it's a huge.
When the guy told the story on how he came up with it, you literally can relate to what he was saying based upon whatever you went through, and his inherent heart on what he thought about a human being that made a mistake. It just like touched your heart. You're like, man, somebody actually does care about somebody that made a mistake, who realizes like this is not the end. This is just the beginning of them becoming a better person. And I was seriously was touched. I was grateful to be able to go there and to speak at the event. And there was two other people that spoke as well too. But there was a lot of people at that 10-year anniversary. A lot of people. And then they gave me a book. Uh, the name I still have it is upstairs. It's about habits, which I really, really love.
Oh wow! So this was in downtown LA. Do you remember when it was? I'm trying to figure out what the judge, who the.
Yeah. Man, it was. I can't remember, but it was maybe about a year after I graduated, something like that.
Okay. So did they incorporate? Because LA has its own CASA program, and then Santa Ana has its own.
Okay. I didn't know that. They didn't differentiate. They never told us that part. Um, they didn't tell us anything about that. The people that spoke, it was myself, I believe two females, and I believe they were from the LA area as well too.
Oh, nice. Were the judges there that you had been in front of?
There was there were um, there were judges that were there, but I don't think none of the judges from the Santa Ana Casa were there. The probation officers were. There were like three or four of the probation officers that were in attendance. But as far as the judges, I don't believe I've seen any of the judges from Santa Ana there. It was all like the LA judges.
Okay.
I might be mistaken, but I believe it was just some of the LA people.
Okay. The only one thing I wanted to ask you before we finish up is if somebody made a mistake and finds himself in federal court and they're just completely losing hope, what kind of advice would you give them?
Hire Karren Kenney right away. Call her.
I didn't tell
You
him to
better
say
have
that,
her
I
on
swear.
speed
I
dial.
didn't tell him to say
You know,
that.
you know, if you really if you really want to change your life and you want to better yourself, you just got to show them that you really mean what you say. Because they can tell.
Mhm.
They deal with people all the time. Like they can see through the foolishness. They know what's going on. A judge is in position in order to make the right decision,
Mhm.
and people can have any sort of stereotypical how they feel about judges, but a judge wants to make sure that that the right thing happens to the people and not the wrong thing, that they care about people. They don't want to see people have to be put away for 10 years when they made one mistake.
Mhm.
They want to change lives without having to put somebody in prison, and make sure that these people are on the right track and having a better life.
Do you have any, so somebody that might be applying to try to get into CASA, do you have any like tips for them, what they should do, try to stress in their application that the CASA people might like?
Be yourself, really, like I said, because they know what's going on. You can't fool these people. Like, you have to literally want to change. I really, everybody's situation is different.
Hmm.
I was just myself. I really wanted to change, and I do not want to sit in that jail cell. So my best advice is be yourself and have meaning behind what you're saying, and show them that you're willing to make a change. And the right person is and the right people will understand that and will be on your side.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Ernest. It was like
Absolutely.
a
Thanks for
pleasure.
having me. And once again, thank you. Like I said, 2019, February 5th was, to have you represent me was the best birthday present I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome. Please stay in touch.
I certainly will. And stay away from that cheese.
I will.
And congratulations on everything that you're doing right now.
Oh, perfect.
You have a passionate, caring heart for people and making sure that justice is served and
Yeah.
making sure that people are well taken care of. So continue to be an impact on people's lives. We need those type of people
Yeah.
around.
I appreciate that. Well, that ends our podcast today with Ernest. Join us next time, and we will see you next time. Bye.